Are you ready to transform your normal e-commerce business into one that experiences exponential growth year after year using online advertising? If so, this show is for you. Me and my guests will show you how you too can grow your e-commerce business to 7 or even 8 figures so you can go on more luxurious vacations, spoil yourself and your family, say yes to more opportunities, and become financially free so you never have to worry about money again. Welcome to the e-commerce performance marketing show. Hey, how's it going, guys? Josh Marsden here of the Econ Performance Marketing Show. And I've got Ryan McKenzie here, and Ryan is a veteran of the digital marketing industry. He's had a lot of success over the years in various industries, but today he's going to talk about his latest success in e-commerce. I'm really excited to dive in here. He's had some tremendous success in a very short amount of time with his newest venture. So Ryan, welcome to the show.
Hey, Josh, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it, man. So if you could maybe just kick things off and tell the audience a bit about your background and how you got started and who you are and what you stand for, that would be awesome.
Cool. Yeah. So, I've literally been doing some form of web type business since like the late 90s. That makes me pretty old and compared to a lot of the guys doing this. But I've started out doing a lot of SEO stuff, affiliate marketing.
Nice.
And then kind of got into some subscription type products. Like we did ringtone subscriptions back in the 2007 area. We've done content sites with advertising focus. And then that kind of eventually led to get me into the media business, which is where I had like print magazines as well. And that kind of evolved into like subscription boxes. And that brings me to kind of where we are now, which, I still have some subscription boxes too, but, with the True Earth laundry detergent strips, which is, it's been around for just like a year and a year and like 6 days. And yeah, it's like it's a 8-figure business.
I know,
it's a
crazy.
heavy focus on subscription, so it's been fun.
No, it's awesome. I'm happy for you, man. And all that experience prior to True Earth too. How do you feel like it played a role in True Earth, like being so successful so fast?
There's a lot of things that like probably needed to fall into place in order for this to have been able to succeed on the level that it did. From learning how to be a media buyer, properly purchase Facebook ads, discover like direct response business models that are like traditional business or direct response business models, like a Michael Ford or Michael Masterson as his pen name is the guy that one of the owners of Agora and a number of other businesses, where you're more focused on you're not necessarily focused on making money on that first sale. Learning that, like if I didn't learn that, I probably wouldn't be growing like we're growing right now, because I would be so worried about everything being profitable on day one. There's a whole lot of little lessons that happened along the way, from like failing at SEO like 5 times and getting so pissed off at being dependent on Google for giving me traffic. If that never happened to me, like over and over and over and over again, to the point that I didn't want anything to do with internet marketing in any capacity. If I never got beat down to the point that I never wanted to see it again, I don't think I would have learned that you need to diversify your strategies and your tactics. So there's a lot of things that have set me up for success here.
Yeah, nice. Okay, that's awesome, man. Yeah, and I think you bring up a super valid point too, that it just shows how important it is to learn paid traffic when you're running any business, but especially e-commerce, I would say. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I was literally on another show yesterday talking about something similar, and I think past Ryan I would have come up with a business idea, I would have put everything together, I would have launched it, and then I probably would have gone for search traffic or organic traffic, or I would have tried to build out, I would try to start selling things organically. And the problem with doing that way is you're so invested in in this business before you even validated it. And what winds up happening is you could, before you start getting any heavy duty organic traction, it could be like a year down the road. And if nobody likes your offer, you're once you've committed a year to a business, you're gonna have a lot harder time pivoting or just like putting a bullet in it because you're so emotionally committed to this product that you can't quit. So like if you have really, in my mind, any sort of business, whether it's e-commerce, digital trainings, whatever it is, I think it's always smart to start with like a minimum viable product and test your offer against paid traffic. If paid traffic can't convert, then I mean, I know this doesn't apply to absolutely everything. There's always an exception to the rule, but I would put a bullet in it because or completely change your offer, because if you can't convert paid traffic, that means that you're going to be completely dependent on organic traffic, and realistically, that's not going to convert that much better.
Up and down, basically, absolutely. I mean, it's just a golden rule that you just shared there that the audience can take a lot of value out of. So, True Earth, I'd love to hear the story. Like, how did that even get going? How did it get started? Like, how did you get that thing off the ground?
Yeah, so like for the last couple of years prior to this, I was kind of living like, generally fairly optimistic dude. But since I've had kids, like I've kind of started like having like negative thoughts about like the future. Like what's the world going to be like in 20 years? Like, are there going to be jobs? Like, are robots going to take over? Like, is there going to be enough food to support the population in 20 years? Like all these random things were like just like negative thoughts that I never had prior to having kids because, whatever, I'll just me, right? And so once I started having kids, I have 3 kids now. This was like occupying a lot of my headspace. And at one point we had this invention kind of brought to us, and we expressed some interest in it, but I don't know, we hadn't actually tried it. We were a bit skeptical. So we kind of got put on the back burner. And
Nice.
So about a year and a half ago, my wife was pregnant with my 3rd kid, who is now about 11 months old. Mm-hmm. And she was sleeping in the morning, and my other 2 kids and I got up and we were watching YouTube, and we were watching like those kid shows where they like they open box of toys and whatever, like, and we're watching it, and like there was this big treasure chest on the show, and it was like made of plastic, and they open it up and it was wrapped in plastic, and they open plastic up and they open it up, and inside of it there's like a layer of like 12 little toys wrapped in plastic, and then they open those up and they're like inside plastic shells, and they're like surprise toys that have plastic. The toys itself are made of plastic, and then once you pull all those up, there's like a plastic divider that you pull out, which is garbage, and then there was like all sorts of other plastic shit that I just can't even. I'm just sitting here watching it, and it was just like in line with these like negative thoughts that I had, and I'm like, this is like ridiculous that people are like, how this is convenient for who? Like, it's inconvenient for the person that's buying this thing. Like, you have to find a place to throw all this garbage, and then like it's not going to get recycled, so it's inconvenient for the earth. The only person that's benefiting from this is the manufacturer. So, anyways, I started going down like this like rabbit hole of like eco-friendly things, and it crossed my mind this product that we've been talking about a few months earlier. So talked to my business partner Brad. I'm like, you think we could let's get some of those in and let's try them. Let's see if they're like, it's worth taking a look at, right?
Yeah.
And like, man, I get pitched so much stuff, so it's like 99% of the things that people pitch me, I'm just like, okay, whatever, man. But so they sent it over and we tried it, and we're like, man, like I don't know if people can see this or not, but like this is like literally how big a load of laundry is. Like okay. it's like probably like 4 inches by like 2.5 inches. They're like tiny, and it's like so it's like 4% the weight of a load of liquid laundry. I'm like, you see this, you're gonna be like, is that gonna wash my clothes? Probably not. So we get it and we tried it, and we're like, wow, it works well. And it like the packaging is like this. You can get like 12 packs or more in the size of like one 32 load bottle.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, this is a good product. Let's try spinning it up. And so we got our other partner Kevin to spin up a site, and what I was mentioning earlier with our validate system. So we have a system that we call VLOS, VLOS. It's a proprietary system that we kind of created ourselves. It's validate, launch, optimize, and scale. And so our validate portion of the business is basically we obviously look at kind of like Ryan Levesque's like green light thing or whatever it's called. I forget what exactly it's called it, but
yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's been a while.
Yeah, look at the size of the market basically, and then what we do is we pick a number. Like, what is the magic number that we need to sell in order to continue to operate this business? And we chose 150. We wanted to sell 150 subscriptions to laundry detergent in the first month. And if we did that, I mean, it's not a ton of money, right? Like that's like, I don't know, that's like $2,000 a month or something. Like, let's just see if we can hit that. If we hit that, then we'll run with it a bit. And we moved, I think like 1,500 or 1,600 in that. Did I freeze there?
A little bit. Yeah, you're good. You said 1,500, 1,600.
Yeah, we sold 1,600 subscriptions in the first month, and
that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah, so it did about 10 times what we were anticipating, and
yeah, that's nice. Obviously.
So yeah, so we decided to put our foot down, and now I think we're around 30. It's been a year and 6 days, and I think we're around 34,000 active subscribers to the product, and we've had well over 100,000 people purchase.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's awesome. And did someone sell you the product, or did you create the product? How'd that product even come about? I mean, it sounds like someone pitched it to you and you were like, sounds like a great product. And then you really took it seriously. You looked into it, you talked to your business partner, and then you guys put some effort behind it to hit that initial 30-day goal, which you obviously exceeded quite a bit. But how did that product come about? And, what can maybe people watching this, what can they do based off of your experience to be able to maybe identify a product that they can sell as well?
Right. So, I mean, in our case here, this is a patented product. Like looking for something on AliExpress or Alibaba, that's probably going to be a short-term win because it's basically commodified, right? For us, like when we started this, we got pitched kind of, and so it came to us. But when we first started, we had we didn't have full control over the product or anything like that. Like the patent holder was able to sell to other people if he wanted to, but that was at the very beginning. So we started selling it, and since it took off, we went and committed some pretty big commitments to the patent holder to basically get a whole bunch of we've been slowly adding more restrictions, to the point where we are the distributor for majority of the we're the basically we control the product for most of the world.
Okay, nice. So yeah, that's smart. Smart business.
I mean, we had to make some big commitments, some that we weren't quite ready to actually hit yet, but we took the risk, committed, and we smashed all the numbers that we had originally talked about. So
that's awesome.
That worked out really well for us. So, I mean, if somebody's looking for something I haven't actively gone and looked for products and stuff like that, but I mean, there's kind of two ways that I would probably go about it if I didn't have access to somebody pitching me things. One is from my perspective, I want to sell products that I can wrap a subscription around, because it's convenient for the consumer, provided they get the frequency that they want in their product, and it's convenient for myself as a business owner because I can sell the product at a better price because I know that I'm going to have a higher lifetime value out the gate, right? So I really like the idea of consumer product goods or CPG stuff. Looking at trends. So if you can't get a unique selling proposition, something that completely differentiate yourself from somebody else, the next thing that I would recommend is you have to have a unique story. You have to have a unique hook, a unique angle, and that's kind of how you separate yourself in a commodified environment from the
Yep.
pack, right? Like you
Yep.
can charge more money when you have a good story, when you have like what do you like? We give right now, since COVID-19 thing happened, we're giving away the same amount every single package, or for say like 32 loads of laundry get purchased. We give 32 loads of laundry to hospitals, food banks, shelters. So we're basically
Awesome.
matching. It's not like we're not really out there bragging about it, but we're giving back like as much as we physically possibly can. Because
That's awesome. That's amazing.
that's part of our mission, right? Like
Right.
that those are the kind of things that you can wrap around a commodified brand to separate yourself from the pack, because you're going to get the bullshit drop shippers that sell the product, aren't going to give a good experience, and people probably aren't going to buy back into. But if you can like latch onto somebody's identity and pull them into the brand, pull their values into like align your values with their values, you're going to get people that buy the product. Obviously the product's got to be quality, but they would rather, like, if you have two people, one person that's like, you know, really I'll just go with the eco angle. They you want to save the planet.
Yep.
They're going to be extremely happy when your soap doesn't come in a package and it comes in like a paper. They're going to be really happy that you donate money to remove plastic from the ocean. Like there's all these things that
Totally.
you can do to that when they have a choice between two different brands, when one makes them feel good about their decisions, the cognitive dissonance or like the buyer's remorse is going to be gone, because
Right.
regardless of how good the product is or regardless of whether they need it, the fact that they're doing something that's bigger than the product completely eliminates any like sort of like buyer's remorse.
No, that's awesome. And I'm sure that you put a lot of thought into like some of those things you just mentioned to really serve that avatar that you're going after, right? And that's an important point, you know, that I just want to bring up, because, you know, those decisions that you make in your marketing and how you're giving back, and, you know, that all plays into like who you attract. And I think that the audience could really learn a lot from that. You know, and I'd love it if maybe you could even just tell the audience too, like what is the value proposition, the hook, the unique differentiated message that you have with True Earth. If you could just maybe just tell us right now, this way, like the audience can hear it from you and they can see what you're talking about in action in the messaging itself.
Cool. So with I mean, obviously this product works really well. First of all, we just got a third party independent review, and I think we were rated the third best eco-friendly laundry detergent that exists. It's on par or better than like 7th generation. Nice. So I mean, obviously you got to have a good product, but so my original hook was like that I came up with in the shower when I had like this big like waterfall of good ideas, was as sensitive on your skin as it is the environment. But that, I mean, that's our hook on the landing page, on the homepage of the site. But from the perspective of what's kind of like, if you're looking at it from like market awareness stuff, like what people don't realize, and that's kind of hooking or people that use traditional laundry detergent and don't realize the damage they're doing, is that every year 700 million jugs of laundry detergent end up in landfills. That's 700 million per year. That's just in North America. That's like the size of some small countries if you were to like just pile that plastic up. And that never disintegrates, or it never goes away. It's there forever. So like every year it's just like, it's an insane amount. And people are like, oh, but you know, I recycle my laundry detergent jug. It goes to the recycling depot. They pick it up every week. And the problem is that there is so much supply of recyclable material, but there's not a high enough demand for the material it produces. Like recycled plastic is more expensive than unrecycled plastic. There's just not enough use for it. So what winds up happening is only about 20% of all plastic that goes to these recycling depots ever gets recycled. The rest gets burned. Carbon footprint galore, right? So basically, by switching to, if basically every single person in North America switched to True Earth, which comes in a cardboard package and is tiny, we would eliminate 700 million to 1 billion jugs of laundry detergent from winding up in landfills every year. And then there's also like some people say, well, I use powdered detergent and it comes in cardboard. Well, the other problem with laundry detergent is it's really heavy. So like liquid laundry detergent weighs, I'm going to use metric here, weighs approximately 40 grams, about an ounce and a third per serving of laundry detergent. These are like 3 to 4 grams, which are approximately 10% of an ounce, maybe a little bit over. And so when we transport this product, the transportation related carbon footprint is like 4 to 5% what a powder or a liquid is. So while cardboard or the detergent that's powdered might come in cardboard, we have that other footprint or the carbon footprint that we reduce. And some people are like, well, we use pods. Well, pods are 25 grams or about an ounce. So we're still significantly lighter than that. So we basically, we have multiple environmental
I love it.
benefits.
I love it, man. I'm hearing like just this really, really good marketable big idea, basically. Like like that's what you're really speaking to. You know, you're talking about how there's just a big picture impact that your product has, which, you know, it really attracts people to the product and to the brand because by becoming a customer, they're becoming part of the vision. They're becoming part of the impact that your brand's having. And, you know, you're creating a movement, which is huge. You know, I mean, that's like something that really like separates your brand from the other brands out there. And if any brand can do that and they can do it very effectively and it really hits the mark as far as like how it captures people's attention and gets people to obviously become customers on the back end. I mean, that's huge, you know, and that's what the audience can really take from that is they can create a big idea, try to create a movement like what you're doing, which is incredible.
Yeah, and then really you just, you know, it's the whole hero's journey thing. You become the guide. And like we created the True Earth movement, and our goal right now is to prevent 1 million laundry jugs from winding up in landfills. And we like every month we send out a report that says where we are. I think we're just under 500,000 right now.
Okay.
And it's not a salesy report. It just basically says what we as a team or a community have accomplished. And every time we send that, there's just one little link in the footer, and that email like sells so many packages of laundry detergent. It's insane.
I bet. You know, speaking of which, do you use Wicked Reports?
I don't anymore. I used to. I didn't stop using it because it was a bad tool. I stopped using it because I was feeding it bad data. So my data got corrupted because we're using their APIs to feed everything in, and then I just couldn't make. It was my fault. It was our fault.
Yeah,
but not,
no worries.
Not like Wicked Reports is awesome. I love Wicked Reports.
Yeah, for sure. We use it, you know, as a standard. But I was just wondering, the reason why I asked is because I was just wondering, you know, when it comes to email marketing, what % of your like revenue on a fairly consistent basis comes from email? Because it sounds like you guys do a really good job with email.
It varies. Like last month, probably it's not as high. I know a lot of people are like 30% plus. Last month, I think we were probably around 25 to 30%. But like it just depends because we actually don't send a ton of email. We basically send like to our lists. We basically send the update once a month, and then we usually have like some sort of promo like every 6 weeks that we send a couple of emails for. We do have other sequences, obviously, like post-purchase sequence and like win-back sequences and all sorts of other things like that. But
nice.
We're just getting into. We created another newsletter like last week called True Change, and it's basically just a pure curated content newsletter. No selling whatsoever outside of like this is brought to you by True Earth, and like there's a couple links back to the main site, but we're trying we're going the big media play on that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, cool, man. Well, I'd love if you can maybe just share some tactic strategies. I know we kind of talked prior to the recording here about some of those in your business, but if you could share a few strategies, tactics that people can literally just use, test in their business just from hearing, you know, this episode, that'd be awesome.
Cool. So, one thing that's been working really well for us, you know, I find a lot of e-commerce businesses are usually like really good top of funnel and really good bottom of funnel. they have a tendency to be like do just okay in the middle of funnel. And I've got a really good one great tactic that works really well is if you're using like micro influencers. So if you're not using micro influencers and you have a product where your cost of goods isn't too high, I would suggest start using them. But we'll use a lot of like Instagram micro influencers, and we'll just like do outreach to like people that are between 3,000 and 30,000 followers on Instagram, and say, hey, I'd love to send you some product. Would you be cool? Would you mind like doing a couple pictures with it, or doing a collab or whatever? And so we reach out. We get about, I think, 30% of people that we reach out to that respond to us wind up doing them. But we try to push to get like, I don't know, we try to get 100 posts a month. I know that's time consuming, but whatever. So we take those.
Working, I mean, because I'm sure you're tracking everything, knowing you.
Yeah, to some extent, right? Like when you're this big, you got to, when you're doing north of $1 million a month, you're at great, and there's a lot. So like we'll use a blended model. I think I cut out there for a sec. But
okay.
Basically what we'll do is we go after these micro influencers. Since we tried using coupon codes before, but the problem with coupon codes on micro influencers is the coupon codes get on coupon sites and then all the data is whacked. So we've stopped using coupon codes for the most part, and we just we know that we're going to see some sort of return on it. But what I do is I don't even look at it from the perspective of what's my like financial return on it. I look at it like, what do I get out of this? So, and this kind of leads into this tactic. So for you to have somebody to create a lifestyle photography session for you, you're probably looking at like $400 to get a picture. You're also getting a bit of a testimonial because they're going to write a little bit about their product. So these are assets that you can use. So we make sure that we ask them if we can use these images, and then we also keep them in a database that we can use when we launch other products. But so we build these relationships with these guys, and we can give them an affiliate setup too if they want to promote our product on the back end, which is one way we could track them. But
nice.
So we take all those assets.
What do you use for affiliate tracking? What's offered?
We use ShareSale.
Okay, cool. Okay.
I like ShareSale because it was easy to set up, and they have a database of existing affiliates. But
yeah, that's awesome.
So you take these assets, and then what I like to do is I like to create a middle of the funnel campaign inside of Facebook. So basically everybody that's engaged with my Facebook page for 365 days, everybody that's engaged with my Instagram page for 365 days, everybody that's watched any of my video content for 365 days, and like anybody that's been to our page in 180 days. Those are like the longest periods for any of those audience sizes that you can do. And then I exclude, if there's like if you have a lower part of the funnel, I would exclude anybody that's in your bottom of funnel campaigns, just so you don't overlap.
Right.
And then I take, like, depending on how many assets you have, like, obviously some assets wind up doing good that you never think would do good. So like we'll do like a CBO campaign and a campaign budget optimized campaign, and then we'll make ad sets, and we'll take all those images, and we'll do dynamic creative, and we'll put like 10 images or 10 videos in each ad set. They're all different. And then we'll take, sorry, my back's killing me. We'll take like probably one or two pieces of like top of funnel copy that's worked really well, and we'll slot those in with those for the copy. And then I'll also take three random good testimonials from all those pieces of content, and I'll use those as the text as well. Put a couple of different good headlines that we've seen working. We'll definitely want to have some of your branded language in there, because we want these touch points to accumulate in the middle. Right. But what ends up happening once you get like hundreds of influencer posts, you have this CBO campaign that's running middle of the funnel. That's essentially 1 million different touch points that are always different. So like they get your top of funnel, they find your product, and then you're going to hit them with so many different combinations of creatives that are going to bust different objections and see people that resonate with them. Like, because like people are biased toward people that look like them, right? So you're eventually going to find somebody that's going to possibly, make the fireworks go off in their head and make them make that decision. But I mean,
No, I
really,
love it.
the goal of the middle of the funnel is to get people to the bottom of the funnel. So if they make, you want to get the
Yep.
purchases for a reasonable price, but like we get great CPAs in the middle of the funnel, but it's also filling the bottom of the funnel for us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like,
So are you excluding then? I know you say you're excluding bottom of the funnel, so you're excluding customers then from the middle of the funnel campaigns.
yes,
It sounds like. Okay, cool.
yeah,
And then I love how you're using basically the Power Five, strategy, which is what Facebook has been really encouraging advertisers to do and to test. And obviously, as marketers, we want to try it, but we also are resistant to doing it if we have something that already works. And the previous system of running ads was effective for all of us, if we know what we're doing, obviously.
yeah.
But I love how you're really trusting the Facebook ad algorithm with using, dynamic placements, dynamic ad creatives, and CBO as well, which is they recommend, that you do that in the Power Five strategy. So that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, Power Five probably doesn't work that well for somebody that's spending $1,000 a month. Although the
Right.
account simplification overall should provide a better, like, I mean, I don't know. Facebook's finicky. We all know that, but like, we're kind of using Power Five. Um, I still have some old campaigns that aren't properly segmenting out people and stuff like that, but we're more or less, we have I have like a few different layers. I have like 7-day, like my bottom of funnel 7-day viewer add to cart stuff, like my 30-day, and then from there we just kind of clump all the middle of funnel people together, and it's worked really well for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, cool, man. Well, thanks for sharing that. I mean, that's definitely sounds like that's a really awesome middle of the funnel, strategy that's working very, very well, obviously for your company. I mean, you guys are doing over $1 million a month now, so I mean, what you're sharing is working. So those that are hearing this, they need to definitely test it in their business as well. I want to be respectful of your time. I know we're getting close to the end here. Were there any other strategies or tactics that you wanted to share real quick before we get to the end of the interview today?
Yeah, I get bang out a couple real quick simple ones
Sure.
that a lot of people probably overlook. Like, I know a lot of D2C direct to consumer people that like refuse to go on Amazon because they feel like Amazon's cannibalizing their sales. Just put your shit on Amazon, man. We launched Amazon in June, and I never done anything on Amazon before because I was of the mind of what I just told you. And there is so much. There is a huge chunk of the population that refuses to buy direct from a website that they don't know.
True.
So like, when I spend a lot of money on Facebook, I'm guessing that I get like a 0.25 to 0.3 return on ad spend just on people that go to Amazon and buy my stuff. And like now I've got, we do between probably like 7 on a bad day to like $11,000 a day just on Amazon. And it's primarily just from the, like all the advertising I'm doing everywhere. It's just like urban runoff that's going over there that don't want to buy from me because they'd like to buy from Amazon. And I probably about 3,000 people subscribed to my products on Amazon. So
Okay.
if you're not gonna do Amazon because you're afraid that you're not gonna control that customer anymore, I think you'd be silly to not put your stuff on Amazon because you're missing out on money. The other thing
Totally.
that's
Real
worked really
quick.
well. Sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's okay. I just so with Amazon, you said you're getting about 3,000. I don't know what the time frame was with that, the frequency, but you're getting basically subscribers from Amazon customers, right? So do you have like some sort of strategy on Amazon when people purchase your product and you send the product out? Do you have something in the packaging possibly to get them over to your email list, or is it just more of brand awareness?
We do. We have this little dinky little thing on here that says track your waste at true.earth/reduce. Honestly, there's something like 50 people that have ever signed up for it. I don't really care. Honestly, like I'm building a brand. If they bought from me, that's great. But I'm looking at it from the perspective that if you're not on Amazon and you're a direct-to-consumer brand and somebody searches for you and you're not on Amazon, something just seems a little bit fishy. Like it's almost like a trust seal to be on Amazon. If you're not on Amazon, because people want to look at reviews, and the reviews on your site you can control and you can be biased on. The ones on Amazon you can't. So they can go and look at the score there and they can validate whether or not they should buy it, and then they can make the decision on whether they buy from Amazon or buy from you. At the end of the day, I still get my money, and my brand gets the exposure. So I don't send anything else with it. I don't do anything gray hat or black hat to try to get my results up on Amazon. The only thing that I do is I bid on the keywords that I want, and I will overbid on them because the relevancy of their search, the organic search, is based on a combination of like your reviews, but then also if somebody searches for a keyword and they purchase when they search for it, that goes towards your relevancy. So I'll overbid on keywords that I want to rank for, and I just pay for it. And it's kind of like the lazy man's way to rank on Amazon. It's not for everybody, but I'd rather be white hat.
That's an incredible tactic you just shared, though. I mean, seriously, what you just said, like someone needs to like rewind this episode, listen to that one more time, and then go apply it, because that's huge.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I was taught that by a buddy, Matt Tessar. He's in Blue Ribbon with me. He basically taught me pretty much everything I know about Amazon. Give him a shout out. He's a good guy.
Nice. I will.
The other thing, the last thing that I would recommend as a quick tactic or strategy is just like consider having a link on your site for retail to buy your product. Like Safeway is not going, or Safeway or like Target or whoever is not going to come bang at Vaughn's, aren't going to come banging on your door to start selling your thing right off the bat. But like there's tons of specialty retail that will buy your product at like 60% of cost, and they'll sell it on their shelves. Just by having like we have like 800 different retailers, and it's pretty much like it's from like all of our ads. We get another probably 0.3 return on ad spend from people seeing the product thinking that's cool, I should sell that in my store, scrolling down to the bottom, finding the link, and applying to be to sell retail. The only advice that I would give is make sure that you have very clear language about them not selling on Amazon, knowing what the minimum prices that they're allowed to sell for, or recommend, or they can advertise it for, so they don't cannibalize your sales, and like limit them from bidding on your keywords and stuff like that. But other than that, man, there's a lot of extra money laying there that people just don't look at.
That's awesome. No, thank you for sharing that. And I actually have something I'm going to tell you after the episode that might help you with that aspect of your business. So this is the last part. This is just a quick bonus round to end it on a fun note. So basically, I'm going to ask you 4 questions. And for each of these questions, you just have to answer these questions with only one word. That's the challenge.
That's hard for me.
Everybody always does that. Everybody always does that. Everybody's like, oh, man, Okay. What caused your biggest e-com success to date?
Media buys. That's a hyphenated word.
All right, we'll count it. All right. And then what advice do you have for other e-com business owners?
One word is so hard.
I've really got to learn how to play the Jeopardy, music right now.
I'll sing it. Try.
Okay.
Like,
no.
Just do it. That's just more than one word. Try. Just go.
Try. Go. That's a good one. Go. All right. How would you describe yourself?
Restless.
Okay. And then what do you see in your future?
Peace.
Nice. You go from restless to peace. That's awesome. Cool. Well, hey, thank you so much for being on the show, man. It's my honor. And guys, Ryan's killing it. Definitely follow him on social or LinkedIn. Also check out his product that's really making a massive impact on the world. And you can make a massive impact on the world as well by becoming a customer of True Earth. So go to trueearth.com. I'm a customer, and I encourage you to be a customer as well. Thank you, Ryan, for being on the show. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for tuning into the e-commerce performance marketing show. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment with a timestamp of your favorite part and share it with a friend. Until our next episode, here's to you and the success of your e-commerce business.